The nation presents a mix of custom and innovation that is trying to view as somewhere else on the planet. Qatar praises its inheritance yet at the same time offers novices and guests popular conveniences, lodgings and framework, and a mix of worldwide societies, cooking styles, and ways of life. From its set of experiences and society to its geology and multicultural populace, Qatar is perhaps of the most intriguing country on the planet. Whether you've been here 10 days or a decade, there's continuously a genuinely new thing to learn. Without much ado, we've chosen 16 interesting and fun facts about Qatar, and we guarantee you won't know all of them. Number 1. Qatar is the second flattest country in the world. You've presumably seen at this point that the nation is level, yet you likely didn't understand exactly the way in which level it is. Truth be told, it's the second flattest country on the planet, with its most noteworthy point lying at only 338 feet high. Only the Maldives is flatter, with a high point of 6 feet. It's uplifting news for cyclists and sprinters, awful news for climbers. Qatar is 2 meters higher than it was quite a while back. While it probably won't seem like a lot, throughout recent 4 centuries Qatar has gradually been ascending because of topographical uplift. Number 2. Hamad International Airport and Qatar Airways are the best in the world. Here in Qatar, people love being a winner. Which is why their efforts to be home to the best airport in the world came into reality according to the Skytrax World Airport Awards 2021. If you've traveled through Hamad International Airport, you'll know why it's so highly rated, from the fantastic public art to the smooth journeys. It's also home to the longest runway in Western Asia, at 15,912 feet, and 6th longest in the world. Add to this, the national carrier Qatar Airways was named the Airline of the Year at the 2021 Skytrax Awards, becoming the first airline ever to take home the prestigious award at least 6 times. Qatar Airways is also one of a select few airlines that flies to all 7 continents, and at one point, it had the longest regularly scheduled flight in the world between Doha and Auckland, at 16 hours and 30 minutes. Number 3. Al Khor Al Adaid is one of the only places in the world where the sea meets desert. The sand dunes of the desert are always breathtaking, but Al Khor Al Adaid, or the Inland Sea, is extra special. The area, which was declared a nature reserve in 2007, is one of the few places in the world where the sea meets the desert. In fact, Qatar is attempting to get the area named a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Qatar is a peninsula, which means it is surrounded by water on most of its sides, giving it a long coastline with a length of 563 kilometers. Number 4. Doha has the longest continuous bicycle path in the world. The Olympic cycling track in Doha holds a Guinness World Record for being the longest continuous cycle path in the world, which is 33 kilometers long. Created by Ashghal, the Public Works Authority in Qatar, the track was completed in 2020. It runs through 18 underpasses to ensure uninterrupted movement. The track also holds the record for the longest piece of asphalt concrete laid continuously, with a length of 25.3 kilometers. Number 5. Qatar is the second safest country in the world. There are many motivations to cherish Qatar, from the astounding museums and art galleries to the incredible seashores and parks. In any case, a significant explanation individuals move to this sublime nation is the way that it's among the safest in the planet. As indicated by the most recent Numbeo Crime Index, Qatar has the second least crime percentage, at 14.03 brings up of 100, simply behind Abu Dhabi at 11.72. What's more, this isn't the main time Qatar has been named among the most secure objections on the planet. It was additionally named the most secure city on the planet in 2017 and 2019, as well. That is protected, away you check it out. Number 6. Men outnumber women by 3 to 1, as expats outnumber Qataris. According to the latest census figures from December 2020, men outnumber women in Doha by about 3 to 1, with just 811,600 women in a population of 2,846,118. In fact, Qatar has the highest male-to-female ratio in the world, with the worldwide average male-female ratio standing at 1.02. The UAE and Bahrain also have high male-female ratios, at 2.56 and 1.53 respectively. Just 15% of the country is Qatari. Qatar is undoubtedly an attractive country to expats, who come here for the great weather, the laid-back lifestyle and, of course, the tax-free salaries. The pull of Qatar is so great that there are now more than 2 million expats living in the country, which means that Qataris are in the minority, at around 15% of the population. Number 7. The Arabian oryx is Qatar's national animal. This majestic animal, which was saved from extinction in the 1970s by zoos and reserves, is the national animal of Qatar. You might have spotted the oryx on the Qatar Airways logo, or, if you're a sports fan, you might recall that an oryx named Ori, very original, was the mascot for the 2006 Asian Games in Doha. Number 8. Robots are used for camel racing in Qatar. If you don't already know, camel racing is hugely popular in Qatar, with races taking place at Al Shahaniya Camel Racing Track between October and February every year. Originally, children would be used as jockeys for the camels, but robots have been used instead since 2004 for health and safety reasons. The robots are controlled remotely by the camel herders who often drive alongside the track. Number 9. The name Qatar dates back to 50 AD. Roman writer Pliny the Elder referred to the inhabitants of what is now Qatar as Qatharii back in the mid-1st century, and the name has gone through several iterations since then. Qatara was then used until the 18th century, when Qatara became the more common spelling, and several variations, including Qatr, Qatar, and Qatar, were also commonly used until Qatar was officially adopted as the country's name. Number 10. From pearl diving to oil. Pearl diving was a mainstay of the Qatari economy for thousands of years, and is celebrated as a key part of the country's culture. That all changed in the 1920s, when Japan began exporting cultured pearls, and the market was flooded. Qatar, like many countries in the Gulf region, pivoted to oil, drilling its first well in 1939, and exporting crude oil as early as 1949. More fields were discovered in 1960, and again in 1970. Oil is now a huge part of the economy, and Qatar is even home to the longest drilled oil well in the world, at 40,320 feet. Number 11. Qatar is one of the richest countries in the world. Looking around at the glitzy skyscrapers and unbelievably ambitious projects like the Pearl Qatar and Lusail, it should come as no surprise to you that Qatar is one of the richest countries in the world. According to the International Monetary Fund's 2020 estimates, Qatar's gross domestic product, GDP, per capita is a whopping $138,910, putting it well ahead of Luxembourg's $112,045 in second place. Also unsurprisingly, much of this wealth comes from petroleum and natural gas, which account for more than 60% of GDP. Number 12. Qatar's flag has an interesting origin story. The flag of Qatar is all over the city, but have you ever stopped to wonder what it means? Well, we're here to educate you. First off, the 9 serrated edges are meant to signify Qatar's inclusion as the 9th member of the reconciled Emirates of the Persian Gulf during a treaty with the British in 1916. The color, which is defined as Pantone 1955C, or Qatar Maroon, is a nod to the country's role in the purple dye industry on Al Khor Island. The flag is also totally unique, as it is the only flag in the world that has a width more than twice the size of its height. Number 13. Qatar's first school was opened in 1949, and its first hospital in 1947. While there had been centers for education way before the 20th century, the first formal school in Doha was established in 1949 by the name Isla Al-Mohammadiyah. It was staffed by 1 teacher and 50 students, but rapidly expanded. The American mission opened the first hospital in Qatar in 1947, but the first governmental hospital, Al Rumayla, opened in 1957 and still operates today. It has been extensively renovated since its inception, but retains its status as Doha's oldest remaining hospital. Number 14. The FIFA World Cup 2022 Qatar marks plenty of historical firsts. The World Cup will be historic for a number of reasons, with Qatar becoming the smallest country and first Arab country ever to host the tournament. It will also be the first to be held during winter, and the first carbon-neutral World Cup, with an 800-megawatt solar energy plant being built to power the tournament, and all excess emissions offset with other projects. Number 15. The Doha Metro is Guinness World Record breaking. Hopping on board the Doha Metro is a great way to get around the city for less. But did you know the project is actually world record breaking? During construction, it was awarded a world record for the largest number of tunnel boring machines operating simultaneously in a single project. Try saying that 5 times faster. Number 16. At Al Wukair Scrapyard, around 20,000 dust-covered vehicles stranded in the desert. In case you hadn't noticed, cars are kind of a big deal in Doha. So much so, that there are plans to build a Qatar Auto Museum along the 5/6 Expressway. And if you head to Al Wukair Scrapyard, you'll find more than 20,000 abandoned vehicles, in various states of decay. Some have been mined for spare parts, while others are intact, and waiting to be collected by their owners. Qatar's national vision aims that, by 2030, Qatar becomes an advanced society capable of sustaining its development and providing a high standard of living for its people. Qatar's national vision defines the long-term goals for the country and provides a framework in which national strategies and implementation plans can be developed. With all of these plans and implementing projects in place, a sustainable Qatar is expected for the years to come. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Also press notification bell to notify you of any future similar videos.